In this demonstration, we are going to take a look at a proposed solution for our kids. In this solution, field workers would be able to access a customized application for home visits utilizing Avoka's mobile field worker solution, which is part of Avoka Smart Form Factory. Avoka Smart Form Factory is an electronic form software solution that makes electronic and mobile data capture quick and simple, while providing benefits such as supporting the broadest possible range of computing platforms, including mobile devices such as the iPad, Android, and BlackBerry, enabling mobile data collection with or without a network connection, controlling the quality and consistency of data being captured in the field through the use of our intelligent data capture applications. So to start the demonstration, let's log into the Avoka Field Worker application. Okay, to start the demonstration, we'll use an iPad to access the Avoka Field Worker application. Here we can see my iPad. We'll turn the iPad on, and we can see at the bottom here we've got the Field Worker application, or the Avoka Field Worker application, already loaded, as it is a native application that's installed on the device. So when I click on that, open it up, we're taken to a login screen. So we've got security and authentication built into the application. I log in, and now I'm presented as a field worker with the essential pieces that I'll need to be able to do my work while I'm out in the field. So if we look at the Forms tab, or the first piece there, the Forms, this is really all the forms that I might need in my day-to-day work while I'm out in the field. So you can think of this as almost like the, briefcase or the file folder of all the different forms that I have at my access that I might need to fill out as I'm going through my day-to-day business. To the side of that, we see To Do with the little orange 1 on there. We can see that 1 represents that I actually have one assignment that has been made to me. Now the difference here, these are forms as well, or data capture applications. But in many cases, these have been pre-filled with information and assigned to me as work to do, right? So these are kind of assignments. But the To Do could also be an area where I'm going to maybe I start a form as I'm filling something out. I break for lunch or need to stop for something and save it. That gives me a place to save that work and come back to it as well, right? And then on the bottom, the submissions. This is actually where I'm going to submit locally to the device. So I could be in a completely disconnected mode as a field worker, because you never know when you're going to have connectivity and when you won't. But it allows me to continue to work, take blank forms, fill them out and save them, or take the to-do items, the assigned items that have been given to me, fill those out and actually submit them. But if I'm not connected, it will just store them locally until I get connected. So let's go into the to-do item that's been assigned to me. So I'll click on that and open up that item. And what we can see in this case is I actually have one home visit that has been assigned to me as the field worker. So if I click on that, that's going to actually open up the actual application or the form that was designed for this data capture application. So in this case, we can see it's a home visit report. We can see the name of the child there and the basic information about the child as well. I've also got the latest picture that we took. So this was the last potentially home visit that we had, and this is what the child looked like. So as part of my home visit, probably the very first thing I'm going to do, is verify the child's information with the child, and then I'm probably also going to want to, take a new picture of the child, so we have a more current picture of what the child's state is. And since this is a native application, we can take advantage of things like the camera or the GPS. In this case, in this field, we're going to take advantage of the camera that's integrated into the iPad to get a new picture of the child. So we'll click on the Take Picture button, and that'll bring up the camera controls. And then we'll move into place with the child, take a new picture, say use that one. And so now we have in the form itself, we have actually taken a picture and stored that information. So another thing I'll notice on the form itself is the navigation on the left side, as well as the navigation button down on the bottom. And so this is going to allow me as the field worker to go to the different sections of the form as I'm working through it. So the form itself and the device become an actual very intuitive tool for me as a field worker as I'm going through it. So I can click next here on the bottom. That's going to take me to the next section of the form. Here we can see it's caregiver information. So again, I can verify who the person that's in charge of the child is, get all their information, can move to the next section. And again, now I've got information about the counselor and other information that's pre-filled from our back-end systems that's provided to me as a field worker, information that I might need on this particular visit. If I continue on through the form, the next thing that I'll get down to is where we're really getting into the meat of the actual home visit, or the things that I need as a field worker to start collecting. So we can see the condition of the child. It just simply starts asking questions. So these are things that are built into the application using the Avoka Smart Form Composer, which allows for the intelligent building of these type of smart forms, right? So now if I come in and actually answer yes to a particular question like I do here, we can see that additional questions or additional responses are now asked and even required, because we can see the little red asterisk. If I hit the next and try and move off, we'll actually see that we have one error on the condition of child area. It gives me the field text that needs to be put in place, and so we can fill that in. And even down to if I come in and put, no on this section here, we can see entire subsections and other pieces that need to be put in. So all the intelligence that you need to build into the application, so that it becomes, again, a tool for the field worker, and you're getting the correct information on the back end, can easily be done. These business rules can easily be incorporated into the form. So now if we continue on, now we're on to appearance. Again, the same kind of concept's going to happen. You can see, the native type controls. So the drop downs are built for the finger. I'm using, the iPad type responses here. So if I choose generally clean, again, we see the dynamic nature in the sense that I now have a description off to the right hand side, so I can read that as a field worker. So now the form is actually, providing intelligence to me as I choose it. And in this case, ask for additional explanation. But I may look at that and go, what, actually, let's change that to well groomed. It actually looks pretty good. And again, the form's going to dynamically go in there. I can then go through and choose the different type controls. So in this case, some check boxes. And again, dynamic nature is there. If I choose like other, okay, please comment on that. What do you mean by the other type pieces? So again, we'll uncheck that, continue to move through the form. So again, different questions can come into place. This is going to actually, again, spawn different questions. If I come in and actually say yes there, we're good. But if you'll notice, if I actually say no on this particular section, you'll notice over on the navigation tree now, we now have an incident report that needs to be filled out. So in this case, the way to look at that is based on the, what the field worker said there in the form as they were going through this interview process, additional form has just now been, added to the navigation as they come in. So if you'll notice on the panel on the right, on the left again, I'll say yes here, and we'll see that incident report is now removed from the navigation because I don't need to fill that out. So again, all that intelligence can be built into the form itself. So I can go through, one of the other aspects that you might want to do, like if I go down to the follow-up items, as a field worker, many times you're going to have different things that you may have taken note of or might want to be reminded of on the next visit, or, whoever may be coming in to do that. So, in this case, we can say, get a copy of report card, and we want that to happen on the next visit, so we can choose that And then I could add additional follow-up items. So you can come in and again, say, new photo. And on these, you could choose an actual date where you could say, trigger a workflow that maybe it's not on the next visit. It needs to happen on a certain date. So I can choose based on the date that I'm going to choose into the drop down. And then obviously I've got the dynamic capabilities if I want to delete an item off. So all of this kind of information can be put into the form so that it's truly a tool for the field worker. Now, another thing that we kind of looked at the camera integration, but we've also got integration with the location as well, right? So since the device is location aware, we can come in and actually see where I'm at physically while I'm filling that out. I can hit confirm on that. You'll notice the little placeholder there now turns green. That means I, as the field worker, have logged exactly where I'm filling out this form. And so that can be embedded in the form, or as you can see here, as part of the application. I may also come in and choose to do additional pictures. So let's say we want to take a picture of the pet that's in the house. I could choose the camera. Can take the picture of the dog sleeping there. Use that, and now I've attached items, and I can have as many attachments to one in there. And also the form logic could dictate specific attachments that need to be done into the form. So now, again, all the intelligence that needs to be built into the application is there. I can now come up to the form in the top section and choose submit. And even though I'm in a disconnected mode here, I can hit submit, and that's actually going to submit that locally to the device and then allow that to synchronize back up to the server once I'm in a connected mode. Okay, we've seen how Avoka Smart Form Factory and Field Worker application can assist our kids in creating data capture applications that can be taken offline, encompass all the security and encryption required, has assignment capabilities to field workers as well as workflow to back office workers. Yes, no, if then logic can be built directly into the application forms. Integration to the GPS and camera and other native application devices is available, all while being platform agnostic. Right, so we don't care if you're running on Android, iOS, or BlackBerry, and for that matter, even on a web application as well. So everything that we do with the one design, we're going to be able to take out to those devices as well as web application as well. So again, we look forward to showing you how the applications can be built and how the separation of the logic from the actual native application can be done. So, which is also going to be a big benefit for our kids to be able to create and change the applications as needed and the business logic as needed without having to go through a large development exercise to do that. Thank you for your time today.